There's a story in the Bible that talks about Lot and his wife, and when God was destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. And in doing so, he warned Lot and his family to flee the city that he was destroying and not to look back. And he warned them that if they look back, if they turn their heads, they were going to turn into salt. So, whilst they were fleeing the city, Lot's wife found it very interesting what was happening behind her so much that she ended up disobeying what God had initially warned them about. So she ended up turning her head, and what happened? She turned into salt. And this is something that we all do every once in a while. Looking back in to our past and living there. Our past is so interesting to us that we cannot flee whatever is happening or whatever has happened be behind us. I kind of interpreted Lot's wife turning into salt with her being stuck there forever. That is what happens to a lot of people. A lot of people get turned into salt in their own lives because they're so stuck in the past. That's why, whenever you feel stuck, you should kind of reevaluate your thoughts. Where are your thoughts? Are your thoughts in the future? Because if they're in the future, it's going to be very overwhelming. And if they're in the past, well, you're going to be having a lot of doubts and a lot of regrets. And all these things are things that hold us back from living in the present moment. Because if you think about it, the past and the future does not exist anymore. It's only the present moment that is being refined into becoming the future or the past. So wherever your thoughts or your awareness is, whether in the future or the past, is going to determine what will be. Because if your thoughts are too much in the future and it overwhelms you, well, you're going to be creating realities of overwhelmness. And if they're in the past, of regrets and pain and doubts, that's exactly what you're going to be creating. So whenever you feel stuck in life, always do this reevaluation and reassess where your feelings are. Because understanding that the past cannot be changed, whatever happened in the past, you can keep beating yourself down for it. You can keep putting yourself down for whatever you did. But when you understand that you didn't know any better, everything kind of starts to seem pointless. Because what's the point of living in the past when the future is created in the present moment? Now, I'm not saying that you should ignore the fact that you've made some mistakes, right? Because we all make mistakes, whether you like it or not. We all have made mistakes that we might have not been proud of, right? But the best you can do is to just assess yourself and take whatever lesson that you can take from your past mistakes and just apply it to the present moment, and make sure that whatever steps you're taking in the present moment is full of awareness and full of intention, and you're not just living your life day to day just doing whatever, because then you're going to be creating more of those mistakes that you've made in the past, and that's going to be creating more of what you do not want. Also understand that you're constantly growing and you're evolving, and every single mistake that you made in the past is going to redirect you into something you're going to need in the future. Think about it for a second. There has been situations that has happened in your life, and you kind of going through the situation and the moment felt like hell. But then when you came out of it, you were kind of glad that you went through it, because you gained a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom from it that eventually created who you are today. So that's what you have to remember whenever you kind of have this feeling of beating yourself down for whatever you did in the future, in the past. You have to always remember that your past mistakes eventually form you into becoming a better version of yourself. And it might not seem like that in the moment, but it comes with hindsight and it comes with awareness of you realizing that whatever you're going through right now is happening for you and not to you. But that takes time to realize that. So whenever you find yourself living in the past, always bring yourself to the awareness or the realization of, listen, I cannot keep judging myself. The best I can do is take responsibilities for my mistake and see how I can move forward from that. Because me keeping my attachment to whatever I did in the past is just keeping me from becoming whoever or whatever better version of me is out there. Your past mistakes do not define you. Your past does not define you. You define your past. You define your past by taking the lessons from the mistakes you've made and applying them onto your daily lives and making sure that you do not repeat the same mistakes twice. That's what makes you a better person. And trust me, the moment you encounter a situation that you've made a mistake in the past and you apply the lessons that you've learned in the situation, you feel better about yourself. You feel confident that you were able to overcome by using the lessons that you learned. Now you feel more proud. You feel prouder. But you never get to that point if you're always beating yourself down for the past mistakes. Your past does not define you, like I already said. And it would never define you if you don't let it. You're always evolving. So you gotta ask yourself if you're evolving into becoming a better person or you're evolving into becoming the past mistakes that you've made. I recently picked up a book from Maxwell Maltz, and it's called Psycho-Cybernetics, and there's this chapter in it that I kind of want to share with you guys. It's called Let Sleeping Dogs Die, and I highlighted this passage because it's so interesting. It kind of relates to what I'm talking about right now. And it says, if we consciously dwell on the error or consciously feel guilty about the error and keep berating ourselves because of it, then unwittingly the error or the failure itself becomes a goal that is consciously held in the imagination and memory. And it's quite interesting because whatever you hold in your imagination, whatever you hold in your mind becomes a goal that you're creating each and every single time. So if you keep beating yourself up over an error or a mistake that you made in the past, now you've made that your main focus. So in order for you to change, you have to change the goal. You have to change what you're focusing on. You have to be conscious of the unconscious, because if you're living your life unconsciously, then the thoughts keep running in your mind unconsciously, and then you're creating what you're not conscious of. And then you keep creating more of that. Does that make sense? So you have to find a way to be mindful about your thoughts. I mean, meditation is something that I promote on this channel a lot because it allows you to bring out the unconscious emotions that you've buried for years and years, and also the thoughts that you let pass by unconsciously into your subconscious. When you meditate, you become aware and you become familiar with whatever you're not conscious of. So to kind of sum it up, I hope you guys gain some insight from this so that you don't become like become salt, just like Lot's wife, and kind of unstuck your life, because that's what being stuck means. You're stuck in the past and you keep recreating what the past what happened in the past. I did that in the past and I made a mistake in the past. That's perfect. That's great. I feel bad about it. That's great. Now, what is my new objective? What am I willing to focus on now? Because whatever I focus on is whatever I create. So I have to shift my focus onto things that I want and not the things that I do not want. And I'm assuming that I do not want to create more of whatever I've been through in the past. I hope this puts you on your journey of letting the past go. Whatever happened in the past should be buried and should be left there in the past. And we should learn from our mistakes and keep it moving, because life is too short to be living in the past anyways. So I hope to see you guys on the next video. It's been your boy Oscar. Subscribe if you haven't, and give it a thumbs up down below if you like and enjoy this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.